thumbnail art. That was drawn by me. If it wasn't really obvious, look how fucking gargantuan my left hand is. Look at my sausage fingers. Look at my eyes, my glasses. My hair is not that full, as you're gonna watch the video and see for yourself. But, anyway, let's get started. Let's just watch it. Oh, God. I'm so naked. So I want... Let's first go into the visual assault that is my background for the moment. I don't have any of that stuff anymore outside of the Fully Cooley poster that is on my right. I still have that wall scroll to this day. You still see it in my videos to this day because I really liked Fully Cooley. I watched that first in college in 2005 and I just became enamored with it, which is it's amazing because it's only like 6 episodes long. I know they made like a sequel series years after the fact, which I hear, like they made 2. When did that happen? But people tell me, you don't have to watch them. The original series is more than enough. And I just became enamored with it. And I'm really happy I hold on to that one. All the other posters that I just, God, the Dragon Ball one, the Street Fighter one, the 2 Street Fighter, they're from the Udon Comics line. Let's just keep going.
With that said, there's no better way to celebrate than by focusing an entire month on one of the best video game characters of all time, Mario. That and people have been pestering me for a while now to make a month of Mario ever since I made a month of Sonic. Two of them. Let's not talk about that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Month of Mario. Cereals, cartoon shows, a featured film, and countless amounts of merchandise, Mario is without a doubt the definitive video game character. And that's saying a hell of a lot. He has the personality of a cardboard box, jumps on anything that moves, and constantly finds himself rescuing this walking definition of an airhead from this giant turtle countless amounts of times.
Pause for a second. So, I thought I was gonna say a slur. Honestly, that's kind of the thing you have to like be conscious about when it's talking about like watching old videos because I hosted a few Discord community watch parties over the Subshack, that's the name of my community Discord. We watched old SGB reviews and I was dying inside every waking second. But there was also a couple of times where the language got a little mid-aughts, if you know what I mean. It's like, holy shit, what was I thinking, man? You know, but I mean, like, do I regret it? Yeah, of course. But, you know, if anything, they're time capsules. They are reflective of the time that I made these videos in, and it's like, that was just the norm back then, that I'm glad we've long since moved on. I think so anyway, I'm not sure. But, no, it's not. No, it wasn't. It was bad then, it's bad now. Okay, let's continue on, because I honestly thought I was going to be waiting.
Regardless of such, this guy always finds himself in some of the best games of all time. Mario may be weak plot-wise, but in terms of gameplay, it's one of the only franchises to remain consistently good since his freaking debut. Now, personally, I'm a bigger Sonic fan than I am a Mario fan, but I cannot deny the quality of his games. They're good. Damn good. But let's just take a quick look back at how Mario came to be. If you've been living under a rock for the last 25 years. Back in 1981, a man named Shigeru Miyamoto, along with the supervision of the late Gunpei Yokoi, created an arcade game called Donkey Kong. In it, you control the character named Jumpman and needed to guide him to the top of the obstacle course in order to rescue his girlfriend Pauline from the giant monkey himself, Donkey Kong. During the American localization process, Mr. Miyamoto decided to name Jumpman Mario, after his office landlord at the time, Mario Segali? Was it Segali? Was it? Whatever. You can't spell it without.
Alright, so any map doesn't count. Any authentic Italians in the How do you pronounce? Is it Segali? Because I know it is Segali. So I was close, but also way off. I'm sorry. Anyway, continue on.
Anyway, the game was incredibly simple in design, but back then this was considered the shit. It sold incredibly well, and just about every console at the time had a port of the game. With Donkey Kong's success, Mr. Miyamoto wanted to experiment more with Mario himself. While Donkey Kong will go on to star in other games, one in which Mario himself is a villain, Mario will go to star in the 1983 game Mario Brothers. It's here that we find out that Mario is an Italian-American plumber from New York and he has a brother named Luigi. And let's just say that this is probably the closest we'll ever see Mario doing anything remotely plumbing related. Unless there's some other Mario plumbing game I'm unaware of. The game was a modest success, but nothing amazing. It wasn't until 1985 when Mr. Miyamoto created Super Mario Bros. For the Famicom PlayStation.
So, it wasn't obvious. I didn't have a tripod back then. Everything was hand cam. So that fish is just wobbling and shaking as he's like, I think he's having a hard time putting the cartridge in the top one. It's like, yeah, I am. Continue on.
The very first game I ever played beat. Gone is the plumbing, instead we get a 2D side scroller that places Mario in the fictitious Mushroom Kingdom, where a giant turtle named Bowser, or King Koopa in Japan, has kidnapped the
artifact thing.
He's also transformed all the kingdom's inhabitants into blocks and whatnot using his powerful black magic. Well, that black magic part is what the manual said. Whoa, wouldn't that mean Mario is committing murder every time he breaks a block? The plot is incredibly simple, and for a game like this back in the day, it wasn't really important. As Mario, it's up to you to travel through 8 different worlds and defeat Bowser himself in order to save the day. You control Mario with the D-pad. Holding down left or right will cause Mario to move in set direction. Holding down Speaking of jumping,
I want to see your reaction to this.
You plug the NES controller into the socket, which allows you to hit the power button to put the game on. And when the game is on, you can hit the press start on the title screen and lets you control Mario. Holy shit. Yeah. Why are you why is he reading from the instruction manual of the game? Also, real quick, before, because it's gonna drive me nuts. This was before I got any semblance of respect for an old console's aspect ratio, because this video is doing the cardinal sin of stretching a 4:3 video game all to the edge of the screen. Now, to be fair, this is the way it just was given to us in the Virtual Console originally. I think later they fixed it, so they just gives you the correct aspect ratio of all time, but my ass didn't have that in 2011, and I got quite a comment on it saying, why are you stretching the picture out? It's like, fuck you, all right? I don't want to fix it, okay? I'm still using Windows Movie Maker, for God's sake. Anyway, let's continue.
Pressing the A button. Jumping is important. Without that, you're not going very far.
Oh!
The B button allows Mario to run faster when you're moving him with the D-pad, and it also allows him to build momentum for longer jumps, which again is very important if you plan on beating the game. I cannot stress that enough. When I was a kid, just about every single
No, so there's reasons for that. Like I know it's kind of like silly. There's like, wow, he's really laying in the fucking obvious, but it has to be stressed. As a kid who used to watch like his mom and his dad play Mario Brothers, the idea of jumping or holding a button to run faster was alien to them. And I don't know, it's because maybe Atari games outside of Pitfall didn't have a run button. I don't know, but it drove me insane watching these guys play these games and keep falling down the same fucking pit because they don't get the idea of self-preservation. You have to jump to live. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. That's what's in your mind.
Like the B button didn't exist, and it tore me up inside seeing someone play the game so slowly. Come on guys, was it so hard to hold down the B button while moving? Anyway, throughout your travels you can collect coins, which besides adding points to your meaningless score, can also net you an extra life if you collect 100 of them. Scattered throughout each level are glowing boxes with question marks. By jumping under them, you can release what's inside.
I was editing there for a
second. But other times they can contain power-ups. Now, Mario himself may run fast and jump high, especially for a fat guy, but his endurance sucks ass.
I'm projecting.
If you run into anything hazardous, your ass is dead.
Projection.
Just
Your
one hit,
projection.
and you're dead. With power-ups, you can make your journey a little easier. When a mushroom pops up, you can become Super Mario.
Did you hear that?
While Super Mario, you can also collect a fire flower, which is awesome. You can spit fireballs and absolutely nuke just about anything in your path. Well, almost anything. You can also obtain a star lead, which grants you temporary invincibility. You glow many colors and you can teach enemies the misery of touch damage. throughout each world are green mushrooms, which grant you an extra life. But like I said, they're usually hidden, so you'll need to dig deep if you plan on finding any. Sometimes you can also travel down certain pipes, which lead to bonus rooms where you can collect lots of coins. And there's also the rare vine that can take you high up into the sky, and again, collect tons of coins. Coins, coins, coins. So Super Mario Bros. Is mainly a single-player adventure, and if you have a buddy along with you, you can play a two-player game, where player 2 can control Luigi. You don't play at the same time, but rather you alternate whenever one player dies. Besides the change in colors, they play exactly the same, though looking back, it's weird that Luigi looks exactly like Mario when he attains the Fire Flower. In fact, I think this is the only game where Luigi's default colors are white overalls with a green undershirt, which would become his Fire Flower outfit in later games. The further you travel, the more difficult the game gets. Most of the time, you control the Mario.
The game gets harder as you play.
Sometimes the setting can be on top of many trees, while other times you can be underground. It's dark, dank, and full of piranha plants. Occasionally, and by that I mean 2 times, you'll come across the water level, where you need to guide Mario underwater and swim your way to the exit while avoiding all the fishes, squids, and bottomless pits that can suck you in. The castle levels are certainly the most dangerous. There's hazardous obstacles all over the place, bottomless pits aplenty, and little to no power-ups available. Some of them can also be like mazes, like the ones where if you go in the wrong direction, the stage loops over and over again. The overall level design is incredibly linear. There aren't really any multiple paths to explore besides the occasional bonus room, and every level has only one exit to reach. If you're the speedrunning type, you can discover
It's so matter of
you
fact.
can skip whole worlds entirely.
Like, there's no segues in any of this yet. Like, nowadays, I'm really adamant on trying to naturally bridge one talking point from another, which is not easy. Sometimes I get a little too caught up in trying to naturally flow the conversation from one topic into another. But back then, I didn't give a shit, dude. This is like, here's talking point A, here's talking point B, here's talking point C. Can I make a smart-ass quip of what I think was funny back in 2011? Sure, okay, then we'll keep going. But it's actually like, it does, honest to God, feel like I'm reading from an instruction manual and adding snide commentary every once in a while. But let's keep going now.
In fact, if you know where to find the right warp zones, you can beat the game in about 5 minutes. I'm not kidding. Enemies come in many flavors. You have Goombas, which are pathetic and only exist for you to step on. Koopa Troopas, which after stomping retract their shell, which you can kick around and knock other enemies. Oh shit! Sticking out of some pipes are piranha plants, but if you stand next to the pipe they're in, or stand on top of it, they don't come out at all. Huh, it's kind of a stupid weakness if you ask me, but moving on, we also have multi-beams, which are just like Koopa Troopas, only these guys are
Stupid motherfuckers. Why do
Eventually,
you
you'll
like
come across
that?
the key to which only exists in the spine, which Mario can't jump on. Underwater, you can come across Cheep Cheeps and Bloopers, who are impossible to kill without the Fire Flower. Oh yeah, you can use fire underwater. What? In a world where Fat Man can jump high, mushrooms make you big, and turtles have a vendetta against you, did you honestly think this game will be at least scientifically accurate? Last was most of the time we make them in pairs.
Stop the video. Stop the video. Why did I suddenly get on a soapbox for that? Like, why did I sound so condescending? Oh, you were expecting realism in your Mario game. You fucking idiot. Yeah. Maybe if I was reviewing the 93 game, a movie, maybe, but let's continue on.
Don't give me trouble all the time, but this fucker right here always gives me shit. Before this lava pit, we probably have one of the worst offenders of horrible enemy placement ever in video game history. Yes, even worse than fucking slicers. Why is this happening? Do you know how hard it is to successfully kill a
This is
human
probably
by
the
jumping
most
on it?
evergreen part of the video because to this day I still hate the placement of this fucker in particular. Because it's just mean. Like it really is just a mean placement for a Hammer Brother. That if you don't have Fire Flower, good luck. Let's continue on.
Come on, shit! Alright, damn it!
Feels like I'm taking a shit, dude.
Oh, what the fuck? You gotta be shitting me! That's it, there's gotta be a hidden power-up block somewhere around here. Come on. Nothing? There's nothing here? Oh shit, I'm running out of time. Fuck. Okay. And there you have it, folks. Sometimes you just gotta say, fuck it, and run. At the end of the world, you have to conquer one of Bowser's castles to defeat him by either getting behind him and touching his axe, or you can continually nuke him with the Fire Flower, which reveals that you weren't really fighting Bowser, just a miserable clone. After defeating a Bowser wannabe, you find out that the princess is in the castle, and you're gonna hear that about 6 more times. What the fuck? Initially, the only thing that Bowser clones do is jump and shoot fireballs out of their mouths. But after World 5, I believe, they begin to throw hammers into the mix as well. Personally, I recommend trying to run under Bowser to beat him, but if you have enough speed, you can try to jump over him as well, assuming there's no hammers in your path. The real Bowser is in the final castle, and, well, he has all the same tactics as all the other Bowser wannabes. He occasionally jumps, shoots fireballs, and throws a shit ton of hammers. Kind of a letdown, really, but after looking at
this long. God damn. Holy shit. So normally, nowadays, when I'm editing a video, I generally have a clip edited to match exactly what I'm saying on the screen to help have a visual aid to bring my point across, but I guess it's still in my earliest days. I'll just let a clip run off for 30 seconds, even if it has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. But I think the one thing that I'm honestly glad that I moved on from looking at some of my earliest stuff is don't spend too much time on every little tidbit of every little thing of the game. You know, because at that point, just make a Let's Play. You know, you just make a dedicated Let's Play or a video, a walkthrough of it. Say what? Yeah, which I did. Yeah, like, but that was after the fact, and people remember that for a different reason. But the one thing that I've learned that I like to think that I've gotten better at is consolidating my points to make it less about. As weird as it sounds, the less about the game and more about me talking about it. And what ultimately do I think I can say about this that people will find funny, or at least make them think for a little bit, because I do like to be analytical when I can be. But this, again, I might as well be just reading the instruction manual and just adding some snide commentary. Let's continue on though.
Rescue the princess. She presents you a second quest, which is really just the hard mode, where Goombas are replaced with Buzzy Beetles, and both they and Koopa Troopas move a little faster. You also get a level select. That's nice. Graphically speaking, for the 80s, this game probably looked amazing for the time. The environments are bright, everything is perfectly distinguishable from one another, and it's never too hard on the eyes. Even today, I think the game still looks nice. I wouldn't say spectacular, but with the simplicity of it all, I think it aged nicely. Musically speaking, I mean, come on. Show me one person who doesn't at least know the overworld theme, and I'll show you someone who is lying out of their ass. Besides the overworld theme, though, the musical pieces are incredibly short. Really short. But you know what? They never get annoying me. I can't quite explain it, but maybe it's just my nostalgia filter kicking in. Honestly though, how many times has the overworld theme been remixed, arranged, and reused for future games? It's probably impossible to determine, but again, I never get sick of it. Koji Kondo, for making one of the catchiest tunes in video game history, I say, God damn it.
I never read that. That's weird. That's a weird fucking punchline for a video. What, does he like the music or not? Alright, we can keep
going. Problems I have with the game. For one, I think the control could be a bit finicky when you're moving too fast. You see, when Mario runs at top speed, he's carrying a shit ton of momentum. So even if you let go of the D-pad, Mario will still travel a considerable amount of distance before completely stopping. Because of that, I sometimes find myself losing control during tricky jumps and falling to my death, even when I try to reposition myself with the D-pad. There's also times where the jump isn't as responsive as I like it to be. It's really not a big deal, but when it does occur, it can get annoying. Finally, there's shit like this. And that's annoying. Super Mario Bros. Isn't a very long game. It shouldn't take you more than an hour to complete it. Being an NES game from the 80s, the difficulty may catch you off guard at times. It isn't too hard, but it certainly isn't easy either. But difficulty is usually a subjective matter, so I'll let you decide on how difficult the game is. Just play your best and you should be fine. That, or you can just use the one-up trick. And I love doing that. Super Mario Bros. Is one of the best-selling games of all time. Over 40 million copies sold. Damn. It used to be the best-selling game of all time.
I'm using the Sunshine version of the Platform is a Plenty music here, because I guess I didn't have access to Cage Insider just yet. At this, like, shout out to that website though. That website has saved my ass. I'm allowed to say that, right? Download your music while you can before it's gone forever. Let's continue on. We're at the
sports ball games. Esports? Really? No, but honestly, Super Mario Bros. Is one of those games that just about anybody can pick up and play. I don't know a single person, either family or friend, who hasn't played Super Mario Bros. In one way or another. If you're just getting into video games and you're looking for some place to start, try playing Super Mario Bros. Its simple premise, simple game design, and simple controls make it simple to pick up and play. There's a reason it sold a shit ton of copies, well, besides being bundled with the NES, but you get my point. With that said, I'll give it a
No, there it is!
I
No, I hate the scores. Oh my god. This was, scores are something I dropped, I think, after the first year. Because the comment section just became fixated on the fucking numbers. And it's like, you pigs.
It's like generations was your last one.
It's just, you didn't watch the video, you just saw the number at the end, and I got the analytics. I know you do this. You skip ahead to see the score, and it was like, why the fuck did he give that an 8? That is a 5. Fuck you, John. See you next week. I dropped it immediately because people get really fixated on stupid shit. It's like, you know, it's like why Dragon Ball stopped power levels after Frieza, because it don't matter. It's a number. Listen to what I'm saying. That is the opinion. And I think that's generally the end of the video. I think there's a little more after this, so we're gonna see my...
It's pretty fun to play, though it isn't something I'll go out of my way to play multiple times. In fact, I can say that about a lot of Mario games, but that's for another time.
Now you may be wondering, just a little bit. Start the series and run.
This is the end of the video, so we can freeze frame here. Maybe a little further. Now when I'm doing like a duck lip.
I think you should look at it.
No, no. Oh, no! Oh, God, he's behind me! Yellow, what was I thinking? I don't like wearing bright colors. I'm pretty reserved with my attire nowadays. I'm just more fixated on my face, because this was 2011. I was still working at Wawa, believe it or not. I made videos on my downtime because I didn't go full-time until 2012. So until then, I didn't make anything off videos. I just made them purely for a hobby's sake. And because, so the original intent was because after I graduated at the University of Philadelphia, the idea was to use my YouTube channel as a platform to showcase my cartoons when I eventually got the time to work for them. But as I found out, when you have a 9-to-5, you don't have time to work on cartoons or make videos that people have already followed your channel for. So I kind of just remained stuck on the video creation process, which is not to say I regret that. I don't. You know, people follow me for my videos, and I'm going to keep doing that until the day I die, or until someone donates me a check for $1 million. Then I'll take a break for a little bit, and then I'll come back and start making videos again as a hobby, strictly. But the idea was just to use the video as a platform to eventually host stuff that I really want to show everybody, which I still do. But God, where's my hair, man? Like I didn't start wearing the hat until 2012, I want to say. I think it was around the first Pokemon video where I started wearing it. Was a Goomba hat, if I recall. And then afterwards, I just kept it on. And a big part of it was because you can kind of see it here, I'm balding. Like my front line of my hair is thinning. And that's been happening since 2009, I want to say. And then after a while, I think it was my mom that says, I think you should shave. I think you should shave it off. I think you'd look better if you shave your head. So I did it. I went across the street to the barbershop, got my head shaved, and it's been okay. Like, do I miss it? Yeah, I do. Because, you know, it's oh, it could be worse. Thank God I didn't shave. All of you be blind right now. You know, but more than anything, I hate that I'll have no beard in this, and I wouldn't get the beard back until probably 2012 after I left Wawa and went full-time. But I couldn't have the beard because of sanitary reasons. You know, they said you can't keep the beard because if you work in food, you can't have a beard unless it's part of your religion, that sort of thing. It's like, I knew it, I should have converted to Muslim to keep my beard. But they told me to shave it off, so I shaved it off, and I fucking hate looking at this. No beard now. No, like generally. No, it was like, unless you were specifically for a religious reason, because I think they do a background check, you know, that sort of thing. And I'm not gonna pretend I'm practicing a faith just for the sake of keeping my facial hair. I have a little more respect for people's beliefs than that. But no, like for the longest time, I just had to just keep the single mustache, which I cannot stand. I hate it. It looks like somebody's creepy uncle.
When you're looking back at this, I'm watching you're like moving along, going, oh my god, and laughing and stuff. But like when you look back at that, like, you know, what are the kind of happy things that come through? Like the genuine, like.
Yeah.
Do you feel proud?
Yeah, proud. Humbled, I think, is probably a better word of looking at it, because you know back then, this John was, you know, he was employed. He had a job. He was getting a paycheck, but I was heavily in student loans. I was living with my parents. This is literally this is the second room in the bottom level of my parents' house that I've lived there forever. And so I didn't have to worry about rent and all that sort of thing. You know, I'm happy about that. But this is a John that was recovering from 2 years of unemployment, and after I think I went into this in like one of my Sonic videos about like between 2008 and 2009, 2010, I fell into a real bad rut. I got depressed, I was unemployed, and I felt aimless, you know, because I was still, you know, trying to pursue my studies, but I also didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do with my life, you know, because like, I'm the first of my family to go to college. I'm the first of my family to do a lot of shit. So I couldn't really rely on guidance and wisdom of what I'm doing because I'm literally the first to do it. And I hate it. No, don't applaud that. That sucked. Yeah, existentialism. I mean, existentialism chat. It's like, yeah, finally, someone who speaks for me.